Good morning, folks. It's 8:47 a.m. on the 8th day, 11th month, 2022. I'm having a look here at the cyclone seasons, or whatever you want to call them, the combination of it all, of the sustaining and making of a tropical storm that's going to impact the Palm Coast of Florida, Port St. Lucie and such over here. It's not going to be a good situation. I'm going to do a quick check and make sure my sound is rolling correctly, which is just sensible to do. Which I'll do now. Hey, come on, show me live. And hello, everybody. Yeah, it looks like it's out there. Yes, I hear a voice. I hear my own. Good. I'll just kind of leave that on. Maybe I'll catch a comment here and there. Um, I don't usually cover USA weather, but my heart's going out to Mike Morales, the loss of his brother. And so maybe this will take some of the heat off him. But he covers things in a wonderful way. So let's send some wonderfulness to them. And anybody else who's suffering from grievances right now seems to be coming a lot of it around. So what I want to do now, if I can get this to go right, this gives you the timestamps for other people that think they need that. And let's see if we can do the bump. And I'll give you as best a show as I can. It's not going to let me do it that way that I want. So I'll do it this way. So I'm watching some clusters going off. Like one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a triple here. I've got them feeding bombs on the inside here that's sustaining the rotation, like this 4 here. You know, the domino effect. It's got a big square over here if something's gone off with a centering emanation point. Something dark over the top. Who knows? You know, the undisclosed. We have to say who knows, but we know when we start sneezing that something's going up our nose from the unknown. I'm going to try to keep this as clean as possible for the USA. Like I said, I do have my own disabilities, but with great consciousness, I can let you continue to watch this here. Just want to be able to scroll this. This is not cool. Rocker. This is going to do it back and forth. So we can see the bombing of an area, how they target, they need things in a certain spot. Like a certain number of nautical miles in front of this line, you'll see bombs deployed. They're needed for a convection that's going under this one. As you get a different type of convection going on with these big storms, it's visible evidence of a toroid, actually. It's kind of sideways, isn't it? Because it's winter time. Yeah, so the toroid will lean toward where the sun is tracking. It's kind of proof of a tilt with visibility. Yeah. As I thought about lots of things, this here is the short wave. It's one of the better images I can get because I can show the bombs coming in right here in these lines. See them going on right here. Boom! Some kind of energy hit that all at once for that to suddenly nucleate here at this one time. Look, yeah, bring it down a couple notches for you. That's rocking backwards. So something is out here continually injecting moisture as we go back in the time here. Let's see if we can get the whole thing come up. I want to show it with the rocker. Right, so you got an area of moisture injection, right, just from one spot in a V shape. And a lot of that's being used, and that would be evidence of marine cloud brightening, that method of geoengineering. Right, if I go here and go marine cloud brightening, you'll very often come up with this image here. Actually, is of an experiment done off the Great Barrier Reef. And you got ships that can do this, and they spray stuff in the air. And this is one from done with the Great Barrier Reef, and here's all the thingamajingies on it. And you will go source this yourself. Why? Because you will do your own homework. You will type in cloud brightening project, and then they're spraying you like bugs with who knows what's in this mix. Right? They say it's just seawater, but does seawater always go to a tank? Yeah. Or it suspends the particles. Well, what's in it? You know, what's up with this? I can make 3 6s out of this logo quite easily. I'm not liking nefarious, devilish things. And tampering with my sky is one of them. Here's other images. Here's a guy that he likes these clouds. Now, this man has a name, right? And I would like to ask him some questions. Just tell me what you know there from Southern Cross. A Southern Cross. I'll show you another example of a Southern Cross. So I'm gonna be kind. We're gonna try to pop this into the commentations box. Hi, Alan Brown. So you're always one of the early watchers. Do you actually get a notification? Because some people say they don't. Right, so there's some cloud brightening. Not such a bright idea as far as I'm concerned. So as I go back over to, which one was I looking at? I was on the goes. Right, here's the goes, USA. This has got a lot of stuff on for you to surf through, and please learn how to use. Okay, so I'll pop a link to that one. Just giving you guys some sources. Okay, I got a lot to cover. Yeah, that's your rail network. I'm going to tie in a piece of your puzzles today. And I'm going to tie in a map into this broadcast. Yeah, I got Australia all queued up. I'll do my best to, as much as my voice allows, but I plan to give you guys your due. Because I love y'all, and you deserve to know about geoengineering. But it's going on worldwide, and this is going to be a devastator from here to here. It's going to have winds of about, I didn't got the full miles an hour up, but it's in the 40s. It's a very strong tropical storm, but it's not hurricane strength. What makes a hurricane is not the shape of the storm. What makes a hurricane is the actual wind strength of the storm. The near your veggies. This shows chem bombs. Alright, I'm really gonna get you guys good. Now go to the near Cirrus and look at the bombs going off. Look what's happened. Yeah, that's nighttime happening, but this is what you get. Download that maybe. So we can stop it. You'll start to see these formations, right? Hey, what's that? Increase animation speed, decrease. Hey, I'm gonna see if I can run it on a slow. So you'll see the bombs going off, but then nighttime falls. When nighttime falls, you see nothing at all. The near Cirrus. I mean, how near can Cirrus be? Isn't it supposed to be very far away? Come on. Go. I selected 240 images. That wasn't the wisest thing to do. Then again, we do what we do. Fucking hell, that was not smart. Alright, that was about boring. Alright, shortwave. What we got going on? That's what we just seen. Right, I want to get in bottom level should be going a different direction. Mid-level might give a more accurate picture of what's... Isn't that dramatic? Whoo! It's all your water that's ready to come ashore. And all the chem bombs over the coast setting up the mix. I got you ready to go. I'm telling you. I'm watching. I got the bombs going off over Florida now. They're boiling it off the coast and they're sending it in. This meets this. See, they ain't showing you what's coming from the north, are they? No, that's the cold blast that when this meets this, it fucks y'all. Yep. And it's gonna, the low itself should actually spit off across Florida down here. And what comes up here is just gonna be a straight line whammo storm. Yeah, you see, you watch it. You see, you're all looking down here. Yeah, I'm looking over here. So I said you got to go to different levels of the atmosphere to see what's coming. What you put in the middle, it affects the bottom deck and the top deck. And it causes the dynamic difference to create not only ionization, but cloud formation itself of a natural kind. Made with unnatural conditions, man-made. Right? And then you add the bombs, right? Tell you got big sulfur emissions, and I saw your plumes going off. One guy was blaming it all on a volcano. I said, oh my God, a guy named Caldera proposes of volcanoes and gases in the sky. Look, listen to this. Dr. Caldera proposes volcanic gases in the sky. Climate change transformed with volcanic gases. Human-caused climate change. Bullshit. Well, yes, it is human-caused, actually. If, hang on, I'm gonna have to change this. Dr. Caldera, SRM. Now you'll find him. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. Sulfur. Harvard. Gates. Foundation. When you find the gates. Look what I typed. Oh my god, I bet you somebody was really out to go, no, Robert, no, you gotta type it right. Hey, you get what you pay for. And I don't want to monetize my channel. It is a wonderful offer to really thank you so much for that. I don't want to seem unkind. You know, geoengineering gets a lift. 4 million. Yeah, if somebody says, here's 4 million, spray him. Hey, Gates, he backs the lobbying. There are particles of sulfur dioxide. Like 30 miles in the atmosphere. Hi there. You know, and then I'm just going to get it right in him in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. He's the man with the blood on his hands. He lied to you about so many things, using his money as validity to having his smarts. You know, he's smart enough to make money. The Convention on Biological Diversity declared a moratorium on experiments in the sea and space except for small-scale scientific studies. Homework. What does it say about these? Sure, yeah, I have it. You're spying on me anyhow. NSA, if you're listening, 2 Facebook accounts ago, can I have those pictures back of the protests and marches I went to? That would be great. Another climate concert for 2010. They've been planning your absolute freaking demise. And this is pre-Paris Agreement. They had 193 signatories. The Tories. Telling stories. Global sunshades, you know, like it needs to be colder. Like you need to have more winter time. So this thing is well funded. Hello, everybody. Well funded. And when I think of land grabs involved under certain corridors for certain lands. And as I looked at the USA one, because I was wondering why they keep getting Pennsylvania and all this. Why is this one route getting a lot of freaking rains installed? And I look at a high-speed corridor proposition for the Southeast. And there's more than just that. Why do they keep flooding out Charlotte? Why do these places in the mountains keep getting it? Yeah, places I love. They want to expand the bridge over the Potomac. They must need money. Money, land grabby gums. Great greedy gums. And they want another corridor going west. And that's going to require more of West Virginia flood and more of Pennsylvania flood and more of blame peasants. And as I watch the beams manipulate this storm, and it's going to spit the load down, because it has to. The momentum of that interacting is, this storm ain't enough to catch the whole thing. Some of it has to go over. That puts that cool in the mid-level, goes into the Gulf of Mexico, and then gives it to Texas again. So Texas gets an event. Yep, an event. Your event over here, Oz, was that beam. It's well pronounced that I showed. You could see the curve of it here, and a curve of it here in an arc. That took coordination to do. Alright? That's coordination. It's not just one country doing something. And where these arcs meet makes an incredibly high earthquake risk along this line. This one started first. Right? So its wave moved more this way before this one started, which moves the earthquake risk more towards this side here and up into the Japan's. Yeah, because boom, boom. It's like hitting a ball ricochet. The wave from this one's going to go up on that part of the curve. The wave from this one's going to aim down. This is a lens. And depending where the main focal point of the lens is, will determine the geoengineering required or result to occur. And you got a second beam right through here. You see it right here, just very, very faintly. Alright, so where's the big beam happening? Where's the quake? Here. Japan. Tokyo. Fukushima areas. This is here. The shockwave is going through the mantle now. A reverberation has been set up a couple days ago. There's your timestamp. I'll let that roll. I'll actually give you a full shot. Told you I'm going to massage in. It's the best I can do. And I'll keep checking that I'm rolling. taking a sip of a drink. Beam, bada beam, ba beam, ba beam, beam, bada boom, bada boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom. And your storms are actually going to follow this, nearly the shape of this, right through this corridor here. It already should be kicking off here a bit now. And then, well, your inland rail proposed path gets its inundation. And then your cross Brisbane to Darwin run gets its stop all the way into the NT near Tennant's Creek, this place that keeps getting flooded. I'm seeing a connection between rails and floods. I'm seeing a connection that is becoming a statistical thing as this corridor again gets it along the path. And the main path where the main flooding occurs is right here. Let's see if we can get this pulled up in a more appropriate manner. See it? See the path? See the floods? See it? Why you keep getting flooded? It's a land grab using water. And when the water didn't work, they used fire out on the west coast. When they burned the woods down. Killed all the creatures. It's bad enough you chop a tree down with a lopper that just picks it up and destroys it. And there's no warning to anything. Right? That's a bad attitude. And they want it all through here as well. Okay? Why are they doing here? It's a proposal. It's an indecent proposal. And it's all right in front of your eyes worth looking for. Okay? It's worth looking for. This information. Don't trust things. Right? You might have disinformation. But this is a statistical, hey, look what we got planned for you, Asheville. But Asheville's very high up, so it's the low areas here, like Hendersonville. They're going to cop it. Marion, cop it. You know, Riceman, not too good. You got some lakes down here that are going to have issues, like High Rock Lake. Problems. These are my stomping grounds, people. All right? As we get into South Carolina mountain regions, you're going to have very major problems in the next... It's coming fairly quick, actually. It's looking at about 5 days to the beginning of the main part of the event. But between the 3 and 4 days from now, you're gonna be running for your bread and milk. Well, why? Why ain't you prepared for that already? Why do I have to point out the obvious that a map is showing me a correlation between high-speed rails and railroad proposed places, right? Proposed places in the lines of floods. Proposed places and lines of floods. I got eyes mapped out here, right? Proposed places, railroad lines. One across here. One up through here, one's come up through here, that we're all well aware of from Clara Smart Cities. But are you aware of the other ones? You got homework to do, and all of it goes to a port over here in Darwin, which I don't know who owns it currently. Somebody said McCreary Holden's had it, but McCreary Holden has China sitting on the board. So you can't tell me that wasn't a handoff back to China in a backhand way. Yep, even that port over in the United States, I can't remember the exact which one, which got sold to McCreary Holden's, is also it's a Chinese port in the United States of America, controlling what containers come in and out. Containers coming in and out. And controlling a railroad line that goes into major cities straight to where containers go in and out. I'm going to keep saying this. Hashtag exposed to 28. Frazzle drip. Look that one up. You want to see what's horrendous? When you get into the adrenochrome part of this crime, you'll realize there's an underground railroad that's not saving lives. And it's very saddening to know that that crime goes on and that the people involved in it are the ones that tell us what justice is. See, here's some of your totals coming along your corridor over the next 10 days. But yours is starting probably about here. You're already getting it, Vint. You're getting vinted, but it isn't the same totals. Tennant's Creek is one of these areas that's been a repeated plowing with major downfalls, major flooding. Fiji, your 10 days is looking good still, but at any point, if you turn your radars off, or they malfunction, this band will be right on top of you. They're squeezing this sock this way. They did a diversion flow, and their radar will be very, very active in the Pacific, moving the river of moisture, causing the La Nina, the Nina excuses, and another excuse, and another excuse, and another. So let's go on with the USA forecast of what the weather plan says it's about to unfold. And the one I think is most accurate is this one here. And I'm going to do it in 2 steps. All right, because the West Coast has got their own problem. Dun, 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 coming ashore, slam head on. And the winds on that day coming ashore. Oh, by the way, surf's up. For here to here, yeah, surf's up. Come on, have some fun. Don't be a numbnut, but have some fun. If you wear your ass as a hat, we're all going to laugh, right? Ass hats get laughed at. Know it. Your winds are, like I said, it was during the high tropical storm ring, but it's not in a hurricane. And I'll show you how you determine that. Stafford-Simpson scale for hurricanes. Should just be able to pull up on image. With the wind speed is always the determiner. Okay? And your miles an hour. Anything below 74 miles an hour, like 73 miles an hour, is not a hurricane. Okay? And you've got categories for tropical storms as well. For non-hurricanes, this one will be in the tropical storm range from 39 to 73. Anything less than that is then a depression. Yeah, so whoever's calling that a hurricane's wrong, because hurricanes are not determined by the shape of the storm. It's determined by wind speed. The same with cyclones. That's just how that works. And the names of the storms for this year, what are this year's named hurricane storms? Are determined well in advance, usually 5 years. So here's ones from 2011. This all been decided. Hey, Grace, you're going to have your moment. Ida, Henry, Julian, Kate, Larry. A little bit of Larry all night long. Much of Mo's and Larry's. Yeah, that wasn't out of here. But here you go. Here's your some decidings, but it's not helping us very much. Come on. All right, we're going to go to the site. What are the storm names for the 22 hurricane season? And the names are not helping me. Oh, come on. You ever have one of them moments you wish you hadn't asked yourself a question? Names. Here we go. Here's the names. Decided well in advance. So all the way to 2027. There you go. There they all are. Already decided. Already ready. So tell me the conspiracy about that. Hey, where's Gonzo? Hey, Gonzalo. We're saying Gonzo. So we'll have the Muppet weather that day. You got Dexter. Hurricane Dexter. Tanya. You can make a song about all the names and you'll have them all remembered. So this year you got Alex, Bonnie, Colin, Danielle. Hurricane Danielle. Could be a depression, but it's not. Maybe it causes a depression. So it'll be Happy Bubble Storm. So we got the Earl of Fiona. Hey, Fiona, you're going to get a storm this year. Gaston. Right, Combined Storm. Hermione. Her land grabby. Her railroad. Virginia. Will Virginia hit Virginia is the question I now will have on my mind. I should go down to the bookie and place a bet. I say yes, it does. Yeah, Martin. Will Martin go down to Georgia? In Atlanta? Carl. Carl. Well, there's some perplexing thoughts, but there you go. You get my point. Hey, Brett, you're going to get a storm next year. Named after you. Wow. Girth. It's a really thick storm. Hey, Felipe. Nigel. It'll fizzle out. And don't you want Valerie to come over on that day? Kimbambery foolery. So yeah, you guys got some heavy winds, and your tide tables are going to be very important for you to know about here on Thursday. The time on the East Coast is is about 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, when this is occurring. The occurrence. Here comes an occurrence, an event of dastardly deeds. Chem bomb skies, fueled like I showed you on the radar, with boom boom plumes over you. And as your radars will kick on, I will do more of an X-rad type of thing to show you. See it change direction? That's because this lull spits off. It had to do that, the momentum of that. And that'll be a pocket of cold air to come in this direction. I have it, an inundation of the east right along the corridors of the proposed rail lines. Here you go, proposed rail lines. Getting the storm. Dun, dun, dun. And there's another one for the Ohio Valley because there's a gap here. And they have to split. There's only a few gaps you can get through these mountains easily. Some of them are roaring, some of them are not. And down here's the gap. And there's a big gap here that the I-70, I think it's 77 or 72 comes up that way. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I got a traffic ticket there. Hey, Vermont, have it. Look, you got to spit. They spit a big tendril off just to come to the northeast. And then you're in and out. You're in and out in 3 days. Right? And the chem foolery will continue. And it does. Now, I'm going to go a little bit to the... Well, they don't know what's going... Hey, what's going on here? That must be wintry mix. Sleet. That's bad driving conditions is what that is along a main road. Watch your trucks, folks. Watch your trucks. Watch your treads. Watch out for each other. Well done, those dudes that nailed that person with that articulated lorry that had, like, no wheels on one of the back. Is he an idiot trying to kill people? Somebody's livings. They don't care about others, do they? Hey, you guys are about to have a winter storm. I called this in advance, and here you go, you're having it. Having it from Oregon on up. Some of you are getting wet. Some of you are getting cold. All the while, light bulbs and heating bills make it excellent for the people that making sure we own nothing while they're happy. Right. It's supposed to be the decade of happiness. I'm waiting for any of that to kick in. So I'm going to show up in through Canada because you got an event. I'm going to leave you out. It's hard to cover an entire world. It really is. There's a lot to look at. And to get it accurate, that's the important thing. Pressure-wise up here, your bubble up for this storm clearly shows that half it has to track in here and then come back again. Right, as this marches along, the bubble up is now in here. This is gonna fight. It's gonna fight for dominance. And that's very high. You ain't telling me in wintertime you have a pressure of 1045 without heating it with the atmospheric heaters. Yeah, the HARP type device is an array. And boy, did we have a blast. Had a big blast. We had one that actually goes over the pole. Right, it comes up off the space fence in Norway. Here near the end. And actually comes back out over Alaska. A predictable spot. You'll actually see it in the rest of the feet. Boom. It sends a pulse over. That came from here. Then they hit that again. Arecibo has to be operating. It's kicked on. It's absolutely on. Because it got a big pulse coming up the side here, which is not good for earthquakes along this line here through Oklahoma and all this. Or Yellowstone area could become a steaminess. Because the beam's going right through it. Yeah, the largest cold air in the world, and let's just agitate it with some EMF. Bzz, bzz, bzz. What could possibly go right? The ultimate land grab. But that might destroy too much of the structure they just invested in, and they'll still be responsible for the loan still. Or will they? Will they get amnesty for every crime they commit? Well, all we got is the bill and your hardship, and the decade of unhappiness is unfolded. Too many, and it's time for the happiness to begin. So if it's part of the happiness, there's going to be some surfing going on while you get smacked head on with a terrible storm. So you might want to consider your location now if you're along the Palm Coast, but it's not a roaring hurricane of great pressure that's predicted, or that I could see as even being possible with the pressures. Yeah, you guys got blasted. It's evident. You can see it. You can see they've done the move. There's no way you're going to heat this like that. There's no other way. It's wintertime. It should be low pressure. It should be clear, cool, crisp, dry. This is far from it. That is what's fueling all the storm. that rushing of winds in two directions, this has enough heat to do it. It's going to rush out, and some of them going to pinch point of these two lows is going to be bad wind-wise. And who's getting it? Nova Scotia off your coast in here. If you got ships and stuff and boats, you might want to consider moving them after this, because you're going to get a little lull, but it ain't going to last long. The high is going to come over. This is going to be your only chance to get your stuff moved. Right, because it's coming. You're going to have a very small opportunity, my fishermen friends. Yeah. I want everybody to be as safe as possible, but I can't keep everybody in mind all at once. I'm going to flip over, see if I'm still on. Looks like it. Yep. Okay, we will continue. UK, I'm sorry, I just can't do everything. South America, you're on your own right now. Max is down there. He can cover your weather. Look at this, what's about to hit the Aleutian Islands. The Panhandle. They had a big quake. Yeah, they're going to get another one when this comes over. Absolutely. It's going to be a roarer. She's roaring. She's going to spit. So that when that goes there, that cuts off. The land is going to have an effect on that, an EMF blast, and that's independent to then come as a second wave across the Pacific Northwest and the Rockies. Hey, look, you got a tendril worked into you guys. Hey, hi, have that all the way from here. A curveball. Talk about a plan unfolded as this roars through the Carolinas and into Tennessee. Let's see what's affected. Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, North Carolina, and Virginia. This is a lot of affected area when this elongated low has this fight with this one that's bubbling out to sea. Because high pressure EMF beam has come down from the space fence itself over the center of the United States and heated you up. And you got more that's going to hit it as well from down here. You'll have ships at sea turn on. That's a lot of busting going on. And I'm watching. My eyeballs are on you. Yep, they are on you. This is not a very good event for you guys. So that's predicting 3 big glitches for the United States to maintain that pressure, and a super glitch. Yeah, the mean one, the Mr. Glitch one. Yeah, and as you get in this line of storms here, across here, this is going to be super dangerous in the mountains. And this is definitely going to finish your fall leaves. That's done. That's down. Watch out for tree falls and stuff like this. If you got something leaning on your house, you might have a couple days to get it off. Right? You do. You have time to react, and you might want to react in advance. Why? Because, well, then it's a done job. It ain't dissing your ease every time you hear it creak. And every time your creeks start rising through here, you got a long sustained event coming through here. I'm not in 100% agreement with these totals. I think you're going to be a bit higher. Because of the stuff working down here is going to have a natural effect to cool in the moist. Warm is going to mix here, so tornadic activity is very possible. Thunder, snow, and some of these places over here, you're going to hear it. You're going to see it. Because as the chem bombs go off and compress and decompress the cloud layers of the atmosphere, it's going to have a piezo discharge. Or the compression and decompression could cause lightning discharges with the ground. There's a lot of statics and ions being released. Oh, gotta have a stretch. This chair sucks. That's my next thing, I think. Oh, I'm nearly at the limit of my ability to sit in. How many minutes I've gone? It's right on that half an hour. I'm going to have to fix that. Fix it. Work on it. So that's next. Ashland getting cold and very, 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 it should be snow. That cold. Now you're going to have the wintry mix. Yeah, learn centimeters. Yeah, all right. Just for you. But you got to learn a metric. Why? Because it's good to know things. Because you might get a recipe. It's metric. Hey, St. Paul, how you doing? And another in St. Paul's. They bombed away your innocence. Look at this. You're going to see this. You're going to see this. I wasn't going to do this part. Oh, my God. It was bad. All right, here's your deployments. Here's your seasonings. All right, this is bad. All right, look at the center of the United States here. This is microwave. Bzz, 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 going offshore. This might be something important at the door. Hang on a minute. I have to pause. Have a good look at that. Just look at it. See it. Have it. Nah, somebody who ain't got a key to the house. I ain't let no one in, ain't got no key. Nah, somebody's been breaking in at night, and somebody ain't got no key at the door. I don't let them in. So, right, here we got off the coast of Florida. Some of the seasons that are setting up where it's going to flood, where you're going to get the main impact of the storm. It's fun to live in a shared house. Not always. Let's look at the chemtrails off the coast here of Kingsland. And then you got chemtrails over Queensland and a whole other continent. Hey, my God, the whole world is incontinent. Because it's just pissing it down everywhere, isn't it? I've been behaving so far. Have I sworn? Let's behave. I can do this. Oklahoma got sprayed. Oklahoma and the boom, pluming down the plains. And the air's not sweet and tastes like feet. And oh my God, Ponca City. I know, I could have kept going. Oklahoma. Boom, bada boom, 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 and a boom, 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 boom. Hey, look, this isn't like the schooners going across the plains. This is planes destroying the plains, 'cause the rains over the plains caused mainly by the plains. Oh my God, boom, boom, pluma. Wichita sprayed again. They had a terrible outbreak at Wichita Falls at one point. Oh my God, an outbreak. Was it chemtrails then? I'll never know. Because that data got erased by a sitting president that was sitting before this one. He erased a lot of the data from Worldview. Yeah, but you love him. Somebody was frothing this morning. I had to fire him for frothing. I don't do politics, okay? Frothations on my wall is why I keep comments only to friends. Don't take it personal. You know, and if I point out that you got a square in your sky on a night of an eclipse, and I'm pointing it out, right? You get on your knees and pray in a church, they draw magic circles in the sky to counteract what you're kneeling down for. Chemtrail, spreading out, taking away your sunshine. Oh, there's still your sunshine. Hey, Manhattan, how you doing? Got a big chemtrail floated by in your distance. Did you see it, Manhattan? Or are you too busy projecting? A big M in the sky. The Masonic apron in the sky. This storm brought to you by our oppressors, the philanthropists. Whether you're a thief or a philanthropist, I can do Kermit the Frog sings a line from Wicked. Hey, Dallas. Come on. It ain't a volcano. It's a boom. That's a boom, boom, plume. Look at this. Boom in the center. Nucleation. It's kind of shape right there. It's definitely a shadow shaped of something lying in cylindrical. Right? Because that's all you'll see in these lines is the definition of a shadow. The shadow knows the delta formation of the boom, but the boom, 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 plume, boom, boom, plume, boom, boom, plume, boom, 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 boom. Boom! Kind of looked like a face. Hey, how you doing? It's Bill Gates' glasses in his nose, in his mouth, and we've got Bill Gates put his own face in a fucking sky. What a scumbag on a night of an eclipse. That's a scumbag. That would do anything like that. I'm doing this for my own purposes. I'm not a doctor. I have the same medical degree as Bill Gates. Yeah. So I could talk about the same thing. Boy, this shit ain't healthy. Hashtag let's help Chase. This youngin' needs more help. And the family deserves all our everythings. I don't want to hear any grief. And it's going to be handled by liaisons, not me. I'm over here. I'm just going to say, I see a need, and I'm going to help. And if you don't want to help, Okay? Keep your mouth shut. Let the people that do. And let the people that don't keep their mouth shut. Yeah. Hello, Richmond Chambers Reservoir. That's a funkatized sky cloud there. That is just a geo cloud as you can get. Over Dallas. Hey, Houston, you are the problem. Bzzz, getting fried. Chemtrail going in, and bombs off the coast. Hi, what do we got here? Hi, little triangular something with a center point and 3 dots on the end. Do we have a possible TRB? Definitely. Just let me get away from that before they shut my feed off. That's when usually things go bad. When I start seeing stuff like that on the feed. New Orleans, NOLA. Hey, how you doing there? You got the Hitler mustache. He's going gray, going sideways. Und then we will control the weather, and we bent the paperclip. And Werner von Braun, I would like you to meet Mr. Kubrick. What a bunch of gold bricks. Boom, boom, plumes off the coast of Apalachicola. Say that one over. Apalachicola. Multi-colas over Apalachicola. Guard your cola, folks. Don't drop the peg. They'll peg you. Whammo. Your weather brought to you by Acme. Wile E. Coyote, super genius. And you just roadrunner running around, still going pecking at the pile of food. One day it'll get you. With the straight line cloud over Titusville. Yeah, I knew I could have pronounced that. Titusville. There's titty bars there. Yeah, that's a Space Coast. And there's a good racing down here. That's where Dale Earnhardt died. Groveland. This place could sink. There's salt domes underneath here. If they get ruptured and the water gets into them and dissolves the salt, this place just sinks. Gun. Absolutely gun. Salt domes. So as we look at the sweats of EMF, we see the boundary lines have been set for the storm to be allowed to come in. If this EMF had gone all the way to here, the storm could not come in. It wouldn't be able to overcome the impetus of the waveform itself that's been deployed across the center of the United States. So there was a bit of a chemtrail tour. And let's go to some of the leading edges here. See the different colors? Something different's been deployed on the low deck than the high deck. It's not taking a sunset because this side here would have the same effect down low. So there's a different light refraction going on. We can say that with honesty, and we deserve to know. Everybody says, well, the people doing this, don't they have to breathe it? They got all the money in the world. They took it from us during this COVID lie that went on. And they got military air filtration systems that you do not. They have vehicles you cannot afford to have these in them. They have windows that are EMF guarded. They can survive a bomb in them. We do not. We don't have the money for the EMF-proof paints and the special panes of glass to put in our house and the insulations for our lofts and roofs. We don't have access to automatic anytime you want dialysis machines that are located in many of these buildings in the houses of oppressions available to governance people that are not available to the general public. While you sit in line like John Sell had to wait in line because she's having some heart issues and she's been in the hospital and I want some big love sent to her. I told her I'd take a break and do this. And I'll be back on the phone with her. You know, there's people that are making decisions for our health for us. That they have no right to make. And they have no right making this health decision for this forest. Out here. And this is EMF. Electromagnetic frequency waveform. Fueled by chem bonds. With the mix inside that's conducive to cause a medium. The thing that waveforms propagate and flow through. That have predictable characteristics. Of which are undisclosed to the general public. And what goes up is coming down. And it's called fallout. And the fallout of these storms is not just what you're breathing, it's the taking of your home. It's the moving of a railroad through your property. It's the chem bombing of it all. As we see these formations that I should show you live. That I can show you on the goes. Yeah, we can show it on the goes. That was the cloud particles is interesting, but it doesn't see, we get this to roll. It goes to a day-night, which is a not conducive to showing you that one. And so I'm not gonna. And I'll cover this further, right? This is an impossible storm. It is. Look at even the shape of this as I'll get it on a stop. So give it a moment. Right as it moved north. Oh, fuck it. All right, I'm firing that one. I tried not to swear. I was doing pretty good. How about the dust? Let's see what the dust is doing. This is coming from the Sahara. All this is Saharan dust, right? That had left a while back. I told you, they use the dust to bring it over, and you have to keep an eye on it. So there's where the dust is. Dust. Dustified. And more dust is coming from there because you went, hey, we got to have a sandwich. There's a sandwich. This is not round like a tropical storm should be. It's just a big area, and there's that plume that was going non-stop right from this one point. You have a ship at sea. Cloud brightening. Boom, some plumes. What a bunch of pluming Nazis. I can hardly look at this anymore. I'm going to roll this, and I'm going to go to a basic Oz forecast, and then I got to click off. My voice is about gone. All right, you guys have very heavy totals, and I'll be keeping an eye on things for you. All right, that was your new snow totals. Your rain accumulation totals across the United States over 10 days is varying on a few. Icons got you in 5 days, which you should be well swathed along those railroad corridor for your inland rails, where these maps go. Through here is well hit. And that's on this side of the mountains. That's that swath right there. See? That swath there is this swath here. Okay? Right there. There. That one is this one. That's that one. And they already hit that other area. Yeah, so I'm watching. And there's other ones proposed that we're gonna want to know about, because the connecting of the ports of Florida in New Orleans to a centralized point here, maybe Biloxi or somewhere along there, would be very possible. So I'm going to dive further into this. That's a trading ports up here as well. In Canada, you got some very high rain accumulation totals coming. You just do. All right, Oz, it's your turn. Right, it's following a heavy swath. So over the next 24 hours for Australia, can expect... yeah, now you see why I didn't really concentrate on you as much this morning. Okay, I'm going to get rid of... not the mimic. I'll get rid of the southeast rail corridor. I'm going to get rid of not that one. That's already rolling for you guys, actually. I'll get rid of that one. Come over here to this one. Yeah, I've already got you guys set. I did my homework. All right. Now, for the next 24 hours, here's what they got going on. As I take a sip of my warm drink and say, if you would like to support my work, you can do so at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. Kind words are nice. Get in touch with me if you want a mailing address or any other way to contact me. You have to get in touch with me. Sometimes through a third person, because only friends can comment on my posts, because letting everybody comment was being abused. And it was too time consuming. We need to get off Facebook and manifest a better world by not sitting in our computer chair. How are you waking somebody if you're sitting and talking to the same people all the time? You're not. How are you manifesting the world around you through change? How are you blessing any waters and stuff that you're also here to do? So I do take the time to make sure I do these things. Yeah, your flare up over here on is normal for this time of year. But it also means a whole bunch of moisture just got shoved down. So we'll be expecting Dr. Glitchensteins to come on over here and pulse that sucker right on down. And this one should nearly be on by now. They should nearly have created this corridor. So shall I have a look? Why not? Hey, look, from Mount Isa to Tennant's Creek. Hi, we want a railroad, and they keep flooding. Yeah, they want their little branches. These little branches are important. They're hot spots for floods, right? It's not a conspiracy to notice that something's happening along certain lines. All right, if your house is on one of those lines, kind of looks like this old line. When the ones don't work no more, get reworked. So, what else? They want you to pay for that, by the way. Used to be a private person bought that railroad and then charged you to use it. Nah, now you pay for it and they charge you to use it. Yes, this is more detailed of the potential flooding areas of Australia, according to the plans of new railroad developments, which seems like a possible, not a conspiracy. The cover up of it is a conspiracy. The suggesting of it as a statistical probability is not a conspiracy. That's just using your noodle. Using your noodle also means take a look at the chem. Right, so I'll have to now go to today, because today I'll actually have Australia on it. So I can come over here and have a look. Right, I say you're going to have a hot spot over here. So a tendril's going to be worked down from here. Glitch here, made a cloud. Oh my, oh, the wicked glitch is definitely on over here. Ain't no way it ain't. All right, let's see. The national loop be going off. Oh yeah, bzz, 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 bzz. See, that's creating a block. Nothing's coming in past that. You come in and it dies. Tendril can come. Not many places actually. You get a dual flow. One can come in here. The main corridor is through here. This is on light, so this is going to start to allow a flow in. Brisbane's gone soft. This should be on hard. Yeah, it is. Naomi's on hard. So right now, to work this around, I got to heat it here. Cause the storm to actually stop. Fold onto itself. Just like a people line. But run into each other, you're going to end up going somewhere. Or falling down. So it might could force air down of a cold nature into a warm mass that's already there. And then you got a recipe for disaster. Or it can do it the other way around. Depends on the plan needed. Alice got a beam shooting out through there. You see it right there. A pulse out to sea from this station. What is going on here? They don't usually expect me. Yeah, you're beaming. All right, they don't usually expect me to look at this one. Well, the silence showing her willy to us as her scrote sack. Here's the bell. Welcome to Fantasy Island. It's a fantasy if you think damn geoengineering ain't real. So that kind of showed that. That's a bust. Yeah, they learned to turn these off, but not the other ones. They got a bit of a blast coming down here. Let's see if anything's showing on Windy, because Windy obviously got owned, because they stopped showing odd stuff on radars. Or permission was withdrawn. So let's give you on the 6. A lot of patchy spots, kind of normal for this time of year. But if they're fueled by a chem bomb going over, well, that's the new normal cloud. The new normal. Building thunderheads better. Bullshit. Why in the hell does that say Vietnam off the ocean? Is that a plan? No. That's the map needing a faster connection. So I'll have to turn something on. Let's get that going. Leave that. Lose that. Lose that. Lose that. I've got to close some windows. I'm coming in too hard. Alright, let's try it again. Right, that's a spinner. So this, you can expect it to spit off. Usually this backside here is, you got a radar interference here. See it? It's really keeping the moisture over this lake area. It's caused a localized, looks like what it spit off is a cloud here. Watch. It's throwing a tendril out. That looks like it's going to die. Good. I like that. Hey, Sedona, how you doing? Boy, you had a big rumble go through over the 6-hour period. Yeah, you did. Hey, USA, I'm done with you now. All right, so plug your tender ears. It's time for me to talk to the strays. Yeah. Hey, you guys, boy, are you fucked? You look at got the radars on here. Bzz, 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 bzz. Glitchenstein. Yeah, they had to make a backup to spin the storm. Where would this have gone if that hadn't gone on? Where would it have gone? What's going on? What's going on? See what the booming and the plumins look like. This might take a minute to load. I had it loaded, but I closed it by accident. Hey, it is what it is. I'm so happy I got the computer running again. I actually watched a movie last night. And I was watching The Hobbit, man. That was great. On the big screen. Even my little Amazon thing, it's just an 8-inch screen, but it was sufficing. But man, that sucked. It's like watching a playground. People asking me weather questions I can't answer. Or you know where you are, right? If I could turn these cities off so this will load quicker, that would be great. as I'm looking at this line of boomings and a pluming, booming and a pluming, boom, boom, boom for you, chemtrail. Square on the low deck, bzz, 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 getting fried real quick. Ham bone, what rhymes with quick and that they can suck? Lollipop stick. Yeah. Do 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 lollipop. Sucking too hard on your lollipop, life gonna get you down. Boom, 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 bloomin' Nazis. Boom, 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 boom. They're adding chems to the medium. They're taking the cirrus clouds and they're changing them as something moves below the low deck and change the dynamics. They say, hello, let's have a big old stop sign. Whammo at the end. You need to stop this shit. And what the fuck is going on over here? Boom, 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 boom. Get them headphones out. I'm not allowed to listen to you in the couch. Why? Confronting people in your house with the truth? Tough shit. They're telling you lies and you have to listen to it. Well, tell the truth. There's no such thing as amnesty when you cause a lot of harm until after a trial is occurred. You give amnesty to a guy that's been put in jail wrong. We get the amnesty for being wrongly jailed. They want amnesty? I'm going to name a spatula that, like Mama used to have. My God, that was a game changer when freaking they came out with that nylon spatula. The lines on my ass changed. And she could stop short. That thing had a sling to it like a blackjack. You can weight one of them down. Look at this pulse coming out here. There's a microwave burst going on. Boom! Yeah. So they fired a microwave blast. An EMP bomb, if you will. Look at this one sailing across. Hi there, I got a chem bomb away. Chem bomb away. Chem bomb day. Boom! Hi there. How your grapes tasting? Only the finest chem bombs going. Adelaide wine. Hashtag exposed to 28. Look what they're doing to you, Melbourne mob. Melbourne mob, they're treating you like Slavs, man. The gas chamber is continually coming to you. There's a big old fart. There it goes over to the corner. Hi there. That's a little too much. Now, I seen a beam come down in Tazi. Look like something was shut down here. But it's not showing up here. The only thing showing up here is the chem bombs from over here showing up over there. Over here, going over there. It's in the air from over here to over there. That ain't fairy dust. Not at all. Quite the opposite. That is a toxifier sent by toxic flyers. Various devices flying in your sky. Toxiflyers. Toxiflyers making toxic skiers all the time. I'm tired of toxiflyers. Yeah, it's not working. It ain't working. That's the way you do it. They're making money for nothing. And you're taking dick for free. And getting dick. Yeah, that's some slang for you there, Australians from America. Getting dick. It means nothing. Burn their ass means you're going to get in trouble. They're going to burn their asses. They're burning your skin with the chemicals. They fried you with microwaves in front of Canberra. Fried your children at a protest. Teaching them about you should stand up for yourself, and this is the house of government that you should be able to go to. And what did they teach the children that day? Strong arm policing, misuse of microwave weaponry, violations of international treaties, of the deployment of such weaponry on peaceful population. And now I'm watching a gas chamber come to you. It's the double boiler going on down on the low deck is stirring this up, and it's bringing all the confections over that you need to mix with this cool air down here in the Hitler mustache cloud that's going down from the Nazi skies. And the Pluma Nazis are at it. N-O-T-S-E-E-S. Nazis. They do not want you to see this. I've had 2 modems fried here since I've moved. A part of my, not modems, the motherboards. Modems, we've been lucky. I don't see why they ain't fried that yet. Look at this shit. Boom, 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 boom. All at once. All at once. Synchronized cloudations of toxic sky cloud particles. There's a bunch of fucking. Oh God, I'm getting angry. Fucking am. Right, I'm gonna roll your forecast in. My throat is about gone. So you got a glitch here, glitch here, glitch here, glitch here, causing clouds to form. Right, the obvious places with a glitch. Glitch here, glitch here, glitch here, glitch here. Right, they're showing on the low deck. They're showing here. Right, they're showing. 1, 2, 3. The predictable space. Radars manipulating the weather. These glitches are causing clouds. They're not a glitch. It's a weather plan. Wake up, you fools. Smell the coffee. It's burning. The toast has already been eaten. And somebody's spread something that's not Marmite on your bread. And that's about all the voice I've got left. Okay, I'll do you a quick run through of the continuation of the fuckery. And I gotta stop. If you're gonna wait around for somebody else to fix that which you have a hammer in your hand to fix, and your pictures will go unhung. And right now I'm watching them hang our mother. Not too many people hanging out. Hangouts, workspaces, telling me what to do with my life while I watch my mother being destroyed. Or they would cover this differently than me. I want to see how you would cover it, please. We need more of eyes on there. We need more people covering. You ain't stepping on my toes to cover this weather. I'll tell you that. And it's just Saturday unfolds. You got a little time up there to get ready. All right? That's where I'm going to end it. Love you all. If you want to support my work, great. paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. I'll give you a couple hashtags. Hashtag Let's Help Chase. If you want to do that stuff, if you're in Australia and can help and network with that. And hashtag expose the 28. Hashtag expose these evil ass fucking bastards that are spraying our skies like fucking bugs, because Robert is tired of getting up every morning and doing this. I want to turn this on one morning and say, look at these beautiful blue skies, deep blue. No cam, no nothing. We did it. We have succeeded. Remember always what it's supposed to be. Remember always that your mother is beautiful and deserves your protection. Remember always that you are a guardian of a legacy that this planet has entrusted in you. You have been allowed to live on her. She could shake us off like a dog with fleas. I think she's itching. Big love. Peace.